Deputy President. My question is to the Minister representing the Minister for Water, Drought and Natural Resources, Senator McKenzie. Senator, do you accept the science and acknowledge that there is a link between climate change and drought?
Minister.
Thank you very much, Madam Deputy President, and I thank Senator Hanson-Young for her question. It seems that we're actually playing merry-go-rounds here. I've been very, very clear that Australian farmers, the Australian government, those of us that are involved in food and fibre production in this country, accept the science of climate change. And that means when we have variabilities in the climate that we have right now, it's not unusual for Australia to be in drought. It's unusual for it to be as devastating as this one is, but it's not unusual. So to say that climate change per se in the present has been responsible for all of the droughts that our country has been through over the last 2 centuries and previously is a long bow to draw. But if you're trying to somehow make out that I don't accept the science of climate change, you'll be hard-pressed if you search Hansard or any of my public comments to find that data, because you won't. We accept the science of climate change. We've got a strong package of measures that we took to the federal election to address it, not just in my own portfolio of agriculture, but in Angus Taylor's energy portfolio.
Senator McKenzie, please resume your seat. Senator Hanson-Young.
Just a point of order. The question was whether the minister accepts the science and acknowledges there is a link between climate change and drought. I'd like an answer to that question.
I do believe the minister is being relevant, but she's got 45 seconds to answer the question with more detail if she chooses. Minister.
Well, thank you very much, Madam Deputy President. I don't think I actually could have been clearer. So why don't I talk about the Future Drought Fund and the $5 billion that we have put into that to actually assist farmers and communities, not today, but over the coming years, address climate change and address their resilience and their businesses' resilience to the fact that we will be seeing droughts, heat waves, etc. in this country. That's the reality. That's why we've actually put money, real money, on the table to assist communities and industry going forward to be more resilient in the face of climate change.
Thank you, Senator McKenzie. Senator Hanson-Young, a second.
Thank you, Madam Deputy President. Seeing, Minister, that you do accept the science on climate change, do you agree then that climate change is exacerbating the drought, and that with every tonne of coal dug and burned, it is making conditions worse for our farmers, it's making life worse for our rural communities, and it's making things worse for the Murray-Darling Basin?
Minister.
Thank you very much, Madam Deputy President. Well, Senator Hanson, when I head out to rural and regional Australia, and I am talking to farmers that are suffering from the worst drought our country has seen, one of the things they talk to me about a lot is the cost of electricity. And we know that particularly if you're a dairy farmer, you can have input costs high because of the cost of grain at the moment, because of the drought. You have increased costs of water because of the drought. And we also have high input costs when it comes to electricity prices, which is affecting their profitability at the end of the line. When input costs go up and you're not getting much more for your product, you know what? You have less money, and so you are doing it tough. Dairy farmers are doing it tough. They're doing it tough because of the price of electricity, amongst other import costs. Our government is committed to getting that down, and that means supporting reliable supply.
Thank you, Minister. The time has expired. Senator Hanson-Young, a second supplement.
Thank you, Madam Deputy President. Minister, you didn't address the link between climate change and drought. But let me put this to you. Your drought policy is to build dams and to pray for rain. Do you accept that until your government gets a policy on climate change, you've got no policy on drought at all?
Minister.
On drought and what is good for regional Australia by that mob over there is absolutely obscene. For you to stand up I could shut down every coal-fired power station today, right now, and I tell you what, Sarah, we'd still be in drought. Our farmers would still be doing it tough.
I remind you to address the senator
Sorry, Madam Deputy President. But, you know, it's a bit of a joke, very rich, again playing politics for Fitzroy, Brunswick and the like. Thank you very much. So when we say it's a beautiful, it's leafy Elwood, but for you to come in here and lecture us on how to deal with the drought, and that if we switched off all coal-fired power stations in this country today, that somehow miraculously it would rain tomorrow. That's right. You know, I mean, it's just a joke. I believe the science, and I know what science will tell me. It will tell me that won't happen.
Senator McKenzie, please resume your seat. Senator Hanson-Young.
Point of order, Madam Deputy President. The only person talking about miracles in this place is the minister who says we just should pray for rain.
Senator Hanson-Young, that's a debating point. Thank you, Minister.
You know what, Senator Hanson-Young? I'm not the only one praying for rain. There's a lot of people in regional Australia praying for rain. There's a lot of people across this country.
Thank you, Minister. Your time has expired. Order. Order. Senator